Designer bags or purses, just like this one, is exactly what I've been reselling in the last 2 years, having made about $2,000 to date. I resell brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Balenciaga, and a variety of others. In this video, I'm going to share with you all my tips and tricks so you can do the exact same thing. Let's get started. So let's start out just by talking about overall strategy a little bit. I really got into this about 3 years ago when all my friends began reselling Supreme. It looked like they were making a lot of money and I kind of wanted to get in on that, so I decided to try and get it bought and also go to drop dates trying to get new items, and it never worked out. I could never get an item to resell. And that's when I expanded. I started looking into Louis Vuitton, Gucci, different designer items, and what I found was there was a very unique market gap. On the Nextdoor app, there was middle-aged men and women reselling these items way below market value, where I could go and buy them and resell them on different websites for far more money. What I would do was I would go to apps like Poshmark and eBay and look not for the asking price, but for the sold historic prices of these items to determine a baseline. Then look what they were asking, know what I could get it negotiated down to, and therefore come up with a really solid profit margin that I could use. So that was my overall strategy, just diving a little bit more into my actual flips and giving you guys some examples of what this may look like. I'll first tell you about a Louis Vuitton garment bag that I sold. And this is going to be hard to believe. I actually bought this bag for $20. It sounds crazy, but I went on the Nextdoor app and there was a woman reselling this for $20. Her only condition was you didn't text her about it, you only called her about it. I immediately picked up the phone, gave her a ring, and what she told me was that she'd gotten about 15 texts, but nobody had called her about it yet, and because of that, she wanted to sell it to me. I was thrilled because I'd followed her instructions and was about to get a great flip, went to her house. I obviously paid full price for this item, which as you can see is a gorgeous piece, and I managed to resell it on eBay for $200. Now, why did I resell it on eBay? I could have resold it on Poshmark or Grailed. I know Grailed is more of a hype app though, especially for sneakerheads, so I ruled that one out. I thought Poshmark would be a good fit, but since this was really an antique piece from the 1970s, its best fit would really be on eBay, which I think was the right choice, having made the profit that I did. Another great flip I made, which differed a little bit, was actually a Gucci purse. It's called a two-way landy lock purse. And they were asking $500 for it on Nextdoor once again, as most all of my flips are. And I looked into it and I really liked what I saw and I knew I could negotiate it down, which I did. I went to them and I actually managed to get it for $300, $200 off the asking price. But what was really great about this sale is that there was a story behind it. They told me all about how they bought it at the Watergate Hotel in 1989 and a little bit more about what that experience was like. Using that, I used that in my post, and this really helped authenticate the piece since there wasn't any receipts or anything like that. And I resold it for $600 on Poshmark. Now, Poshmark was the perfect fit for this item. It was a really classy looking woman's purse that would strike a chord with the middle-aged population. It sold quickly, but I did have to resist negotiation and them trying to drive the price down, which is really important takeaway from this video. Whenever you're reselling on websites or apps like Poshmark, you have to be patient. If you know the value of the item, don't give in for a quick sale and just hold out until you get that full price asking. A third flip that I've had that I think you guys will really appreciate is 2 pairs of Balenciaga Triple S's. I hardly knew what Triple S's were a year ago, but they're actually a really sought out, popular, kind of clunky looking sneaker that a lot of rappers and hypewear collectors wear. So I went on Craigslist and decided to kind of do some research on this, see if I could make some money. And I typed in Balenciaga without realizing that there was 2 typos in the way I spelled it. But I'm so glad that I did that because one listing popped up for 2 pairs of Balenciagas, and in the title of the listing, they'd made the exact same 2 typos that I'd made myself. Because of that, I think I was the only person on the Craigslist website to see this listing. And they were asking $500 for 2 pairs of sneakers. That may sound like a lot of money to you guys, but having done even a small amount of research, I knew these were vastly undervalued. So I went to them, paid full price, I got the dust bags, boxes included for these 2 pairs, and they'd each been worn once. If I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't know it because they looked brand new. One was in the Lego colorway, and the other was in a red and black colorway. I quickly put them on Grailed, which was the best fit because it's such a sneaker app for hypewear, men, and young professionals, and they sold pretty quickly. The Lego colorway sold for $466, and the red and black colorway sold for $516. That left me with a net profit of $471 for no more than 2 hours of my work. If you compare that to any minimum wage job, that really blows it out of the water in terms of value per time provided. Granted, and this goes for all of these flips, I'm not including the fees and commissions that these websites take. I haven't done the math there, but they do take 10, 15, sometimes even up to 20% of the price, which reduces your margins but still makes it a great side hustle. So just some tips and some final strategy for anyone interested in doing this. Do your research. Make sure you go into a negotiation knowing exactly what the most you're going to pay for an item is, and then don't go over that. Secondly, I would probably avoid Craigslist. I actually have been scammed once in this side hustle, which was on Craigslist. I bought a designer clothing piece and it turned out to be completely fake, and I effectively lost all $200 that I'd spent buying it. Next, always negotiate. Sometimes if they aren't willing, that's fine if it's at a low enough price, but if you can knock off $100 with 5 seconds of your time, you're effectively making $100 with 5 seconds of your time. So don't underappreciate the value of that and just how powerful that is. Two final things. Always try to include the dust bags, boxes, and receipts with any of these purchases. It really increases the value and also the authenticity when you're reselling these on certain sites. And always take really good photos. So taking good photos is super important because people want to know what the defects are. If they're going to spend this much money on a designer clothing piece, they want to know exactly what they're getting for it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy this, and I know you have questions, so go ahead and make sure to comment those below. And also, as always, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.